And we are live. Welcome back to the most recent installment of the Mecca of Banter. I am your host this week, Hoov, Young Yid on Twitter. Happy sports fan. You know, neither of my teams won this weekend, but got to watch the legend in the flesh, Heung-min's son, bag a double in St. Louis at CityPark. And while it was extremely embarrassing from a St. Louis point of view, it was awesome. It was so cool. There were so many Sun jerseys. So many people there just to see the legend for the most part. That says nothing about my team because we weren't even in a remotely close playoff spot. There was nothing to play for in this game. That's all I really wanted to see.
Did you end up wearing a Sunny jersey?
Yeah, I wore the exact kit.
Yeah.
I wore the exact kit.
Yeah, he texted us shit on it. I was like, you have to.
I was like, you know, I wouldn't wear a Clint Dempsey Fulham kit to a Tottenham game, but that is just not the same in any capacity than what we're talking about here.
No.
He played for 7 years.
You got a chance
7 years longer.
Seeing you.
Right. Oh, yeah. And he played 7 years longer at Tottenham than we even had a team in St. Louis. So that was the decision, I think. And it was the right decision. It was awesome. I got to see him do the little, you know, the Sunny special into my corner. I was geeked. It was very cool. We'll check in with the lads. Winks, what's going on, man?
What's up, brother? Good. Really, really freaking good. Comebacks are always nice, and it's even sweeter when I'm the only one on this podcast coming away with 3 points this past week. So I'm happy to be here, ready to talk about it in all the VAR glory that happened in that game. But good to see you guys.
It was almost like a perfect hate-watching weekend. Just everybody.
Dude.
So close.
Banger games, too. Banger games, yeah.
Sorry to spoil it.
Good for the title race.
Very good.
Good roll into Dobes. What's up, brother?
Speaking
What's
of
going
title
on,
race,
fellas?
only 2 games behind.
Only 2 games behind. Arguably one of the best, if not the best sports weekend probably of the year. And everybody I needed to win lost. So every single buddy I needed to win lost. But it's your boy Dobes. Happy to be here again. I'm here, fellas. I'm here.
Glad to have you. After our interesting pod last weekend, I'm sure we'll dive in a little bit further into that. And then welcoming back one of the original co-hosts of the Mecca of Banter, Sean Hughes, rocking his signed kit. And who is that kit signed by?
That's the big Alan Shearer. Played in this kit, came through our Saints Academy long ago. I think he was pretty shocked to see me wearing it in the crowd in Kansas City. There was one other Southampton fan there, and we were very happy to see each other. But it was a sea of red, and it was not a lot of Saints, though.
And you mean in Kansas City, not in the country? Like, yeah.
Yeah. There's a few more than that. But no, it was great. Premier League Live mornings was that was awesome experience.
Yeah.
Rebecca, the Robbies.
Cool, dude. So cool. Timmy.
Nice as you can. Yeah. Nicest people. I mean, nothing but good things to say about them. Loads of fun. But yeah, fun to be back, boys.
This is old school, man. Sean was as OG gets with the Mecca, man.
Yeah.
It feels good to be back, boys. It feels good to be back. I mean, I wish my team was up here banging it out with you guys.
I was going to say, I couldn't tell you how Southampton, they're doing what they're
doing all right, bro.
If they're still a club.
We had Liverpool on the ropes in the Carabao, and we turned it over passing out of the back and gave them a 1-0 lead. Like the 60th, they looked terrible against us. I mean, it wasn't their best 11, but we looked pretty good. We beat Wrexham, did that. Everyone knows who they are.
That's a big deal now. That's a super club. Yeah.
It's some social media clout, I guess, when you take them down at least.
Dude, the content you got at the Premier League Live weekend was awesome. The selfie with Rebecca, the getting up on stage and chatting it up with Sheer, that was so sick. Out
of left field. Not ready for that. I'll tell you that much. Not ready for that at all.
Well, glad to have you back. Glad the lads are able to hop on. First things first, mentioned it in the intro here. St. Louis 0, Heung-min Suns, LAFC 3. I went to the game. I was very excited. I was looking forward to it. Not at all from a St. Louis perspective, just to see the legend himself. But I came away with it being super disappointed in the goals that we let up. Like, I don't know if you guys ended up watching this at all, but I mean, embarrassing defensive efforts against probably the most informed, probably one of the best players in the league. Like, dude, I was yelling to step up, bro.
Tactics,
They rolled out the red carpet and just let him walk down defender after defender. I mean, it was super embarrassing. Cool to see him score. You know, don't get me wrong, there were a ton of Son jerseys. A lot of people were geeked about him playing. A lot of South Korean flags. You know, the people came out for it like you would expect. But yeah, I left disappointed just in the sense that we looked awful. We didn't have a sniff on anything. And Baumgartel, man, I mean, I brought my dad to the game, and he's a ball watcher. I wouldn't call him top 20%, but he's a ball watcher. He knows a bit of game. He was even like, why did they just let him dribble through the middle of the field? Dude, Baumgartel backed into his own 6-yard box, watching him 1v1, 2 scissor kicks, and just a tap to Berkey's left that he wasn't going to do anything with. It was unbelievably bad. Like,
he had that Virgil just keep backpedaling until something happens or he scores.
Yeah. It was Baumgartel did not get dribbled past because he gave him a mile to dribble for the entire game.
The VVD special.
The VVD special. It was a bummer. I don't know if any of you guys got any, you know, the season's over. We're officially eliminated from playoff contention. We were eliminated 2.5 months ago, in my personal opinion.
Yeah, could just rip it off at this point.
We needed every team in front of us to lose every game that they had remaining, and we had to win out as well. So that, I'm glad, is done. Season's pretty much over, in my opinion. Frankly, probably wouldn't have talked much about this game if Sonny didn't play. But, I mean, thoughts on the season, thoughts on the future, 13 expiring contracts, no new manager, no sporting director. We are lost at this moment in time.
I think it's just crazy that it wasn't like 3 months ago, maybe a little bit, but it was like I was trying to get a ticket to every game every week, and now it's like people can't give tickets away for free. It's like nobody wants to go because I mean, we talk about it all the time, but the product is just not good. You know, it's just, and that's just the least of our issues, right? It's all bad, man.
I'm not even charging my friends if they want to go to a game because I always have tickets. Like, someone in my season ticket section can't go, so I'm just like, look, if you want to go and you buy me a beer, we're square here, because that's the best I can get out of this, I think.
It'll be interesting to see next year, too, how the kind of moves that we make in the offseason, and if we'll continue to see that from the fans' perspective of, you know, not selling out and, you know, not being as rowdy. And it'll be weird to see if it's just the Luligans there at the end of the...
I think everybody at the club is on the hot seat, top to bottom. Like,
They should be.
like owner, like you name it, owners, you name it. Like, we don't have a sporting director, we don't even have a real coach. You know what I mean? It's just like,
what do you know about the interim guy who came up from coaching the second team? Brown is kind of saying he knows what he's doing.
He's got.
I don't know anything.
I don't know his background. I know that he had City 2 absolutely buzzing.
They were rolling,
which is always good. I mean, given the talent that I think we've got on that team, is compared to the league that they were in, he was doing more with the talent that he had. And then he just naturally wasn't going to have as much when he came to the first team, because we don't have as much. That's just kind of what it is right now. But I think it's been positive. If you look at Olaf and then his tenure, we have them back to back. Critchley ball is way more fun to watch. Do we really think it should be the way forward? Like, this guy doesn't have much of a CV at all. I'm of the opinion that we need a new sporting director to come in first and just get a grasp on things. You can't be hiring a coach before you have a sporting director. And I don't think he should be off the list. I don't think Hackworth should be off the list. I don't think either of them should be the one that we take, but you're not going to keep them at some point.
It's like even Hack was really successful with City too. You know what I mean? It's like both guys clearly decent managers. Whether there is some shift from the first team to the second team, of course, but it's like at some point it comes back on roster construction, the play. You know what I mean? There's like a way bigger issue at hand, and I think just one coach is going to solve for sure. Like,
and you want to rip one?
Well, I just
welcome back.
Well, yeah. Sorry, fellas, I'm here though.
Welcome.
Whenever you're ready, dude.
Whenever you're ready, you know. Did we already go over that it's a great week to be a Manchester United fan? What's the word? No.
I'm about to hit that next thing.
Do we miss out on that one? No, I don't know. Critchley has been fine to watch. It is impossible to nail what is the issue. Like I could go ham on this podcast about the coaching being the issue. I could go so deep into the roster construction. I could go so deep into the technical director. It's all the same shit. And so like, I just think that unless you're bringing in a sporting director that has an idea already of a head coach that like already they're bringing it in, I don't think it makes any sense to change the head coach. And so maybe it's extending Critchley for another 6 months until the technical director gets their feet wet. It just doesn't make any sense to me to like, I don't know. For me, it starts with the technical director, and you got to choose them, the sporting director, you choose them, and then they choose the head coach, and then they figure out the roster construction. So
you want to see some vision from the top.
Yeah, it's just what it has to be. Otherwise, you're like, chances are that some shit doesn't work again, and they change it and whatever it is. So for me, you gotta ball out on the sporting director. You gotta make that happen ASAP, and then they can choose a head coach from there.
Yeah. I think so too, and I think you're stupid if you don't think that's the direction. We can't be like, oh, Critchley had such a good. No, dude. Let's get an identity. Let's get a thought process on what we want to do with the roster and the 13 guys that are expiring this summer. Like, we gotta get it.
What's his contract?
I think he's up. Berkey's up. Klaus is up. The list of the backbone that Lutz wanted in the first place is all up. So, yeah. Interesting uncharted waters for the boys in red.
Superstars, man. I've been saying it forever. Go buy some fucking dogs.
Yeah, will you text Jim, Dubs?
Yeah, just go buy a stud.
Silly.
Go buy a stud.
Yeah, that's needed. But moving on from the super exciting world of MLS is the Premier League, and it starts off hot with a game that was talked about last week. It'll be talked about this week, and the fallout that comes with that. Brentford 3, Manchester United 1.
I feel like
everyone was up for it.
What was spicy about it? Why do you think what happened?
I feel like fallout's kind of a stretch. I feel like there were a lot of positives to take away from that game.
And if you're a habitual listener of the pod, that was the extended joke from last week and them beating 10-man Chelsea. So I'll let you guys have it.
Should have beat 10-man Brentford, if you know what I'm saying.
Hey.
That was fucked. I don't think that Brentford's been our bogey team forever. Still absolutely zero excuse in terms of they just have, dude. Like the last 4 or 5 years, like all the way back to Ten Hag when they beat us in the fucking first or second game of the season before he got it rolling. They've been just like a bogey team. With that said, it's like I was extremely confident going into this game because Brentford had scored first. I think it was in 4 of their first 5 games they'd scored first, but then also lost. It was 3 of them. So the first goal we gave up was a brutal, just Harry Maguire should have been stepping half a step slow. If he's paying attention, he plays that guy onside. And what a fucking finish what a fucking
100%.
finish. That was an absolute banger. The second one, a weird kind of bang, bang, down the line. And I don't know what to make of Altai, man. I feel like he should have done better and parried that some other way, and it just somehow ends up in the back of the net, which feels like 90% of the goals that we give up. But the first half was ugly. I mean, it truthfully just was. It was. I feel like with Bruno Fernandes, you get one or the other. This season so far, it's you either
he got me -4 is what he got me.
That's what I mean. But that's what I mean. It's
unreal.
That's what I mean. It's I feel like you get him in terms of unbelievable form to where he's setting the tempo, he's playing well, he's creating chances, or you get the kind of manic, all over the place, not really great at keeping the ball, not winning as many duels. You kind of find him yelling at the ref a little bit more in terms of frustration. And that's what we got. And still, we found ourselves a way to get back in the game, scored a great goal. Sesko avoided 007, so now we only have Wirtz. It's a 007.
You guys got bailed out. You saw the tweet that was Sesko's goal, and it was the video of Drewski trying to play soccer.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. It couldn't have been more accurate. It was just
Yeah. It does say it on the score sheet. It says Sesko/Drewski. But no, it's we get ourselves back into the game, and that Bruno Fernandes pen miss is
backbreaker.
It's inexcusable. For him in that position as the captain of a team The second half comes out. We look better. We get ourselves back in the game. We get a goal. Everything is there to play for. I genuinely think if we score that goal, we go back on to potentially win the game. And then
is he off pins?
I mean, it's just like I saw a stat that was like, out of all, like I think he's missed, or he has half or 3/4 of the misses in the Prem this year in pens.
What is it, 2 though?
That's 2.
Yeah.
But it's like
and before that, he was like 28. His numbers were like.
And by no means, like he's fire. I just think it's like when you look at, I don't think Mbeumo's ever missed a pen in the Premier League.
I was gonna say.
Like and Cunha's kind of the same way. So that penalty miss is like it's just a backbreaker. It's like one of those things. It's like you work hard, you get back into the game, your captain steps up to score a pen, to rally the troops, and he misses. And to be fair, it was a horrible pen.
Horrible.
Like it was a savable height. I mean, not gonna discount the Kelleher save.
He didn't go early. He said like he made him earn it.
Yeah,
he made him earn it.
It was a fantastic pen. And then we subbed on. Well, I think Mason Mount at the end of the game was playing like fucking left back. We subbed on Xerxes. It was just like we were going for it.
Yeah.
And then they scored a great third. I don't know, fellas. It's like one of those. It's like last week. It's like I said, it was like we built momentum from Chelsea because it's a win against a top 6 side. But then those games only matter when you take care of business like you should against Brentford. Like this Brentford team is like straight up not good. Like they are not a good side at all. Not only that, but they got fucking gutted. Like they lost to Bumo. Yeah. They lost we said up top. Like they got gutted.
They got Jordan Henderson running the midfield.
And to be fair, he was solid too. Like he was solid. So it's like I think there's a combination right now, and it's like you heard a lot of the players come, like Cunha especially, be like the play, like they have to fucking stake up and take nut up and take some fucking accountability, dude. It's like Bruno Fernandes can't miss that pen. Harry Maguire, England international. You cannot get caught ball watching for half a second when you're the last man back playing in this formation. So it's like, I don't really know. It's like Sunderland we play next week, which 99% of the time it's like, all right, who do we play the following week on it? And now Sunderland's sitting in fucking 6th place. So
they look pretty good. Wait, I have one more question for you, Hen and Dobes. What's Yarrow?
Bro,
is he hurt?
No.
Don't know.
Don't know. So
because him and Mazwari, Mazwari's hurt, but you take both of them out, and I think Mazwari's class. I
like him.
He might be
both
my
of them
favorite signing that we made on that period.
I can't believe you take Maz out, or like Maz goes out, and I can't believe you then take out another like pivotal piece of your team. That just didn't make. I figured something else was going on.
I think what's interesting for me is like if you're gonna play Harry Maguire, I think Yoro's a must. Just because it's that there's balance between that there's side, and then it's like Luke Shaw isn't fast, but he's also not like, you know what I mean?
He was fast.
You know, but he's not Harry Maguire. He's not Harry Maguire slow to where he also has the brain a little bit to like make up. And De Ligt is a central center back that is known to be not mobile, a leader that should play there. And so there wasn't balance. There's no balance there at all. So it's like, I don't understand it. I don't get it. With that to be said, like I'm not going to sit here and say Maguire was the worst player on the field for us by a margin. Like I'm ready to put Manuel Ugarte on a rocket and fire him into the sun. Like I get why he plays to like balance Bruno and be like and win tackles and like be a little bit more athletic. But dude, when he receives the ball and can't even play 2-touch and like it, and then Bruno's not having a great game, it was a fucking recipe for disaster.
Yeah, and I don't get it. Like I mean, the inconsistency of United has been there for so long. We know this. Dope said it last week. You're only as good as your next game. We knew it. I was so confident going into this game too. And Shauno, to your point, like the decision making around the rosters, like it's getting to be inexcusable for me as well. Like what doesn't make any sense to me at all is like Luke Shaw used to be that guy. Really was. There was a period of time where he was, the best left back, in England for sure. And he was up there in the best left back in the world. His decision making is terrible. Like, I mean, of the last, like I promise you, if you go back and watch the last couple of games and see the goals that we've given up, how many of them have come from Luke Shaw just completely losing his man at the back post? It's absurd, and what I don't understand too is if you're playing like De Ligt and Harry Maguire in that back line, why do you need to put Ugarte in front of him? Like, put Kobe in there. Let Kobe and Bruno like do their thing.
Yeah,
that's
crazy.
They have the defensive coverage with those two center backs, and then
Bro, it was 5 minutes of Kobe coming on, and he did like 4 or 5 turns that I think Ugarte would have torn both ATLs.
Dude, I mean,
you wish.
And I'm joking. I texted Henry. It was 5 minutes. It wasn't like it was a span of him coming on. It was 5 minutes, and I was like, it's different.
And so the thing is like, I really am at a point right now with Ruben where like, I'm struggling a lot to see what he could possibly do to make it better than it is. And like, Ahmad was out for personal issues. Mazraoui's injured. We know that to be true. Like, there's a couple of guys coming back to full fitness. I thought Cunha looked so fucking rusty. I thought he looked
Him and Bumo were very bad.
Yeah.
And Bumo, talking about a terrible first-round draft pick. Good Lord. I was so much more of a guy.
So, like...
Was he negative?
No, negative.
Said it could have been Bruno. But, you know, so, of course, like, we all deal with our own injuries and all that stuff. But, like, it's just not working with Amram at all. And so there's only like 2 things that I could see happening is like, one, we let him go at this next international break. I guess after November 1st or whatever it is, November 1st, like we saved 12 million by sacking him, whatever. Like, so I could see that happening, that international break, we let him go after November 1st. There's that. But then it becomes like, well, who do you go and get? Like, who's that? There's that conversation that we'll never get to the end of. But then the only other thing that I could see, like,
is Tuchel coaching here now?
Yeah, he's England's coach.
He's on England.
No, that's right. Sorry,
the only other thing that I could see like working is like Ineos coming out and saying Ruben is our guy definitively. Like, that is what it's going to be, because I also think that there's still like this power dynamic between some of the players that have been here for the last couple of managers not buying into the process and like it just existing that way. Like, for me, it feels like United, even 6 games into the season, some of those players are already settled into like, well, I'll just outlast this manager. It's happened in the past. It'll happen again, like whatever it may be. You know, I've even gone so far down the Twitter timeline over the last week saying that like United might have thought that Bruno was like on his way to Saudi, which is why they got both Mbumo and Cunha. But now that Bruno stayed, they feel pressured to like playing him in the midfield, which is why there's that. But it doesn't excuse Amram's like substitutions. It doesn't excuse like his consistent like team selections. Like, I'm getting to the point where like I don't think the loss is all on Amram at all. Like, you know, Amram's system didn't make Bruno miss that penalty at all. Like, but he's not helping his case by the selections that he's making. The team is underperforming for sure. Guys aren't doing what they should be doing, but like, you got to at least put out your best 11 whenever you need a win. Like,
what's the Rooney quote that's going around right now? Where he was like, when we played, we were hunters or something like that.
And he's just basically like, I don't recognize the club.
Holy
like,
shit.
It's super sad.
It is kind of a mentality thing, like the mentality thing though.
Totally. He said that.
That's the same quote that every former United players had within the last 5 years.
Our parents have all said that about nowadays.
Fucking boomers.
Well, it's true. But they play scared.
Yeah, but it is true. And like, you asked the question of, is Bruno off of pens?
Dude, he has to be.
He has to be.
Yeah.
And the thing is too, like,
it's not missing a pen and we go on to win. It's costing points.
It's costing points.
It's costing points.
And like, as your
Same thing with Fulham. It's 3 points versus 1 point against Fulham.
You know, Sesko isn't going to take him.
Well, I just think that like the miss would be one thing if he didn't play the way that he did the whole game. Like, guys make mistakes, people miss, it does happen. Like, you know, preferably it doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen. But it's the whole performance that is like really frustrating me. Like, I don't think Amram will do it. There's no, he won't do it, but like, Bruno needs to be sat. Like, or
just play him as a 10.
Yeah, or put like Mbumo as the 9 or Cunha as the 9 and then play Bruno as one of those 10s. Like, it just, everyone on Twitter saying the exact same fucking thing, which is like, I don't know how you can sit at like watching your television and see that the issues are so clear, but Amram refuses to change them. I don't know. I have no idea what the guy's thinking. I know we're only 6 games into the season, but like, I got to see something else because I'm terrified of Sunderland this weekend. And that's just bro, I'm so serious. Like,
dude,
it's going
to ruin
my shit.
Funny.
It's going to ruin
what
my
did
weekend.
I read? They have 12 points since they've been in the Premier League, which is only this year. And you guys have 11 since April.
Yeah, I know. It's awesome. I've seen all the stats. I've seen all the shit.
That's wild.
I get it. I understand. It's nuts. But like,
that's wild.
It's crazy, bro. It's nuts.
I don't even know if Sunderland had 12 points the last time they were in the Premier League.
I don't know if they did either. No idea.
They probably didn't, which is crazy.
Josie,
we're on relegation form right now, fellas.
That would I don't know if money wise the Premier League would allow a big
They
six.
can't let you
let
go
alone
down.
you
We
guys
won't.
get
We won't
relegated.
go down. There's no way that we'll go down. But I mean, that is.
I said that last year too. I was pretty close. So that was, that was quite a recap, because is it the manager? Is it the culture? Is it the ownership? Is it the players? No one really knows.
It's
Kind of all,
bro.
all of them a little
Tune
bit.
in next week to find
All
out.
we do know is that Ineos is going to save a penny anywhere possible, and if that means sack him in November, that means sack him in November.
I believe that, by the way. I 100% believe
100%.
that.
I think that's definitely on the table and what's been discussed.
Xavi,
Sifting through a couple
Xavi would be
games.
kind of sick, dude. Xavi would be he'd probably fail too, but Xavi would be kind of sick.
You'd be
God,
so
man.
bricked when.
I'm still bricked about Amram, dude. You just got to figure it the fuck out, man.
Yeah. The problem, I want him to be successful so bad. I just have no
I
belief
like
that
him
he
too,
will
bro.
be.
I do. I like him.
So, all right, let's move
Sorry,
on.
Hoov. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Rolling into a game that does not have representation. I don't know did anyone get a statement from Nicky on the Chelsea loss?
Well, I was with him at Ebbs' bachelor party.
Chelsea
That was a fun
lost
time. I golfed. I'm horrible.
3-1 to Brentford with a Chalobah red card in the first half.
Needs to be known, still haven't won since Garnacho has been on the team.
Garnacho!
Yeah, we didn't get to watch much of it, but I'm telling you what, the Chelsea.
You had a squad of the Chelsea
whole
boys.
Chelsea
That's what I'm
boys.
saying, and like they kind of collaborated with their team spirit, which was I'm not very happy right now. Let's watch the Ryder Cup, and apparently I don't really know much about golf. Apparently that didn't go very well either, at least Saturday. So
It was a bad morning. It was a bad. Ryder Cup started 6:30. United
They played some
started
good golf,
6:30. It
but
was
that
bad.
was about the end of the goodness for their situation.
Yeah, and when you get these early reds, it's kind of hard at some point to completely analytically break it down. But they had a red last week too, and did he learn from his mistakes? I mean, he pulled Estevao in the 63rd, Andre Santos for Achamapong.
They love Estevao. They
him.
love him.
Oh, he's great.
They think he's really good.
I think he's a good player.
For them right now, they think
Yeah.
he's very good.
I don't think I wouldn't even doubt that. I agree.
I like him. I think he's a dog.
He's pretty good. He's pretty good.
They packed it in, to the end, and turns out old Danny Welbeck still got it.
That's hilarious, bro.
And he doubled them up in the final minutes of the game to beat them.
Very nice touch for him to set up that last one. And then another thing on Chelsea, I think they're down to like their third or fourth string center backs. Like, so I'll give them that. Like, I'm pretty sure they're
fucking who, dude.
one of them got a red, so I guess they're fourth and
Their
third.
rosters.
So that one's on him. That one's
They have
on
a
him.
60-man roster. I'm not.
Yeah.
Dude, and you look at the $1 billion that was spent and go through their roster. That is not what I would anticipate a $1 billion roster to look like.
No.
I don't. Who is Hato?
But if you're spending that much,
Ajax legend, bro.
Yeah. Or who was the dude from last week? Ted Kurd.
Yeah, Ted Kurd.
The backup keeper.
Yeah,
Third
but
string.
if a lot of our clubs, if we were injury ridden, I get it, but they are so, and I don't even know if deep's the right word, but they have so many players.
There's so many players.
Did Sanchez play in this game? And if so, how?
I think he did.
Yeah, he played.
Yeah, he was.
They missed. There was the what
But
cup game was
he
there?
got a red last week.
If you missed a cup game, if he sits out of the cup game, I think he's good.
That's whack.
Okay.
So he just got lucky.
Against Lincoln City, he sat out.
It didn't
Yeah.
save them. So
Into the further game, really the big one, I think, the big surprise: Palace 2, Liverpool 1. And we
Fly
do not have any
Eagles.
Liverpool representation here either, but we did want to just give a quick shout out to Oliver Glasner and the absolute dogs
Future
they've
United
got
manager
running on
right
the
there.
pitch right now.
Yeah, he's got the boys buzzing. It's a great watch, the great system. Before 3 is
Truly.
a great system. Any manager would be happy to play it. But they got the dogs. I was glad.
Butchie was texting me live about that game, being like, or before during it, I was like, the system just doesn't work, and they went down in that game. I was like, hey, Butchie, what system is Palace playing right now? And Griff just started dying laughing.
Dude, and what we just love to see, fellas, what we absolutely love to see is Christian Richards at the end of the game emptying out his pockets, as they do all the time, and finding Alexander Isak just in that back pocket, because man did nothing all game.
Absolute ghost.
Zero.
Talk
Chris
about another
Richards is
first
that
round
guy.
bust.
Yeah, he's my first round bust. It's great.
We got to have a conversation about words, fellas. We have to.
First round buzz.
It's bad.
Yeah. Max wants him off his team. So, yeah, I would say that.
Well, okay. How long do you give a new player before he's a bust?
It's his second game, right?
No, that was his seventh.
No,
game.
Seventh.
Isak.
Word. Sorry.
Isak, it's like his third or fourth. I think it's his second.
Wirtz
I think it's his
actually,
second
honestly,
start.
if you watch that game back, Wirtz actually was one of like the only players that didn't look like he was afraid to attack.
I won't
He actually got a
watch
goal.
it back, and I'll strictly judge him by stats, and that's how I'm going to go. So he didn't score. And
He got a goal saved by his own teammate, and Isak also, or no, Salah saved a Soberslash shot that was going in definitively. Like, Soberslash might be the best player for him. Sorry.
What?
He's so good.
What? Well,
I think he's good, but he's been playing right back. So
if he keeps it up at right back like he was the last couple of games,
he should have had 2 goals this game.
He could move into
literally got his
Valverde
goal saved
territory
by
pretty
Salah.
quickly. Valverde and Szoboszlai could be cut from the same cloth.
he's got that attitude
Yeah.
for sure.
For sure.
Got
That
them
free
3
kick
points
he
against
scored against
Arsenal, I
Arsenal
mean.
was sick. That was sick.
But yeah, Palace definitely needs some praise.
think
They are class. Chris Richards.
I do think overarching too, like Liverpool are gettable for sure. Like I know that they had a really hot start to the season, but like I think they won like their last 3 or 4 games by 1 goal, like and then lost this one. Like they're gettable for sure.
You
And half
guys
of those
played
were
them
late.
well.
Like
You guys
half
played them
those
well.
goals.
That game could have gone either way. United, Liverpool.
We haven't played them
Fair
yet this
call.
year, dude.
Wait, who played first week? Arsenal?
We played
Arsenal.
them second week,
They played them second week, yeah.
but that was the
Who'd
one.
you play
That was the
first week,
1-1
Dylan?
snooze.
We played Arsenal. No, we should have beat
Okay,
Arsenal. Yeah.
that's who you should have had. Sorry.
But you
But
didn't.
they're gettable. We play like Liverpool play us in 2 weeks, or they got a tough run in. They got Galatasaray, Chelsea, then us. That's the I was gonna say Palace, and that's the EFL Cup. But they're gettable for sure. I think the league's wide open despite how good their start was.
Yeah, I think so too. But a lot of those goals too were on 12 minutes of stoppage time that weren't
a fucking
deserved.
10 or some
And
shit.
Dude.
right. The inevitable Salah finish.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Oliver Glasner's got those boys rolling. Chris Richards, USA legend, comfortably our best center back right now, and was mentioned on the pod before we started recording. Maybe the best American center back of all time.
Not legacy career, but just peak ability. He's got to be talked about. Who's better?
We're not
10?
talking about him and his John Brooks moment at the 2026 World Cup or anything like that. But there's a world where the future is bright, at least in one position, because the rest of them are a dumpster fire.
Still only 25 too. Like, he's got a lot of years left in center back years.
Being the day in, day out center back pairing with LaCroix and Gahey.
One of the hottest clubs in the.
Gahey not leaving for sure helped him out a lot though too.
But he keeps getting better. I think that's the thing with Richards.
That's the thing.
He had a high ceiling when he came over from Germany, and he's just gotten better every single season. He was not the guy right away at Crystal Palace. He had to earn his spot. He really revved it up last year throughout the rest of the year. It was a huge part of them winning the trophy last year. And so, yeah, Chris Richards deserves a lot of praise for how he's progressed in his career, specifically at Crystal Palace.
Yep. Moving on, Man City beat Burnley 5-1. I did not watch. Burnley had 2 own goals from the same player. He joins an elite list of 5 players with 2 own goals in one game.
Didn't even have
Haaland.
to check my fantasy line when Haaland scores. It was like I just somehow win. Didn't have to change anything. If Haaland scores, I have a chance to win.
Hey, for
He
what
had
it's
2
worth,
in 3 minutes.
that own goal, the guy that scored the own goals registered a 1.8 on FOTMob. That's the lowest score I've ever seen. Have you ever seen lower than a 1.8?
Wow, you're
1.8
right.
is
Oh, bro,
crazy.
that back 4, all red, 4.7, 4.3, 4.0, 1.8.
Kyle Walker with a big old 4.7. Gotta love it.
I was curious, Hoov, when you said 1 of 5 to have 2 own goals, and Mr. Jamie Carragher is on that chart in 99.
You mean the greatest center back of all time in Premier League history?
That was funny. That was good.
I do want to give a shout out though that Jaden Anthony cat on the left wing for Burnley is actually sick. He's actually a very good player, and he's just on a dog shit team. So I think he could go to Crystal Palace and ball. So I'm just going to call that early. Jaden Anthony
the
to Crystal
pipeline.
Palace. Yes.
The pipeline.
Yes.
Well, lads, Tottenham, we got wolved again. Yeah, it happens every year, bro.
I was saying you called it too.
It's just anytime Spurs have an opportunity to help themselves out in the table against a bottom tier team, they just shoot themselves in the foot over and over and over. Like, if you look at the last 5 or 6 matchups against Wolves from Spurs, I want to see if I can find it, because I think we've got like 1 win and 6 against them. They've not been good for a long time. Like, they've barely kind of
They're very
kept
bad right
themselves
now.
relevant. They're horrible.
They're bad.
So in classic Spurs fashion, we go behind early or second half early in the second half, and then, kind of just waffled it. Disappointing performance all around. I think it's kind of, I was thinking about this. I took a walk earlier and
reflected on the state of your club.
I was reflecting on this.
That is like the most genuine sports fan right there. That is so good.
And I think there's a lot of Thomas Frank, obviously still figuring out the lineup, but this was a Brentford Thomas Frank lineup. We had João Palhinha next to Rodrigo Bentancur. We had Xavi out left and Bergvall in the 10. You're playing the last place team who don't have a point on the board. You probably don't need a double pivot in the 6. Like, João Palhinha is more than capable of handling that himself.
Yeah.
In this, if we were playing PSG, I'd be having a different conversation with you.
Yeah.
But he didn't need to be as defensive as it is. And it's like he's not quite recognized that he can take a little bit more risk with Spurs just because of the talent depth compared to Brentford.
Where was Pedro Porro?
He was rested, which I don't know why. I think it's so weird because we kind of have 3 really, really good wingbacks at the moment. So when I saw that he was being rested, I thought that was interesting. But it's not like I felt that there was a drop-off in Jed Spence or Destiny Udogie. So
Gotcha.
I do think Pedro offers a lot with ball distribution. Spence is going to make that run up the wing and catch you on an overlap. Udogie's going to make that run up the wing and catch you on an overlap. Spence Pedro loves to sit a little bit further and panned. When you're playing a team who has a low block, I could see that the overlapping wingbacks is probably the good idea to stretch out their block. But this one, it kind of came down to Thomas Frank. His refusal so far to play Xavi in the 10, outside of the 30 minutes that he played last week in the Brighton draw. I can't figure out why he's not doing that. I do think there's a little bit of a fact that Bergvall's played so well that can't really take him off the field. He could have for sure played with Xavi in that midfield with,
remove the pivot, Bergvall.
Remove the pivot, Bergvall as the 8, and then you're motoring a little bit. And we saw the game get better when Pape Sarr came in and did a little bit of that. He held up the assist for Paulinho's kind of a banger goal. I love that guy. I think Paulinho has been probably, so far the Spurs signing of the season. Xavi is going to come into his own. There's nobody worried about him. He's not playing his strongest position. But then that comes up with the second part is, who's our left winger, dude? We sold the legend in the summer, and we've got Tell, who's out of position at left wing. He's more of a striker and can't create a ton. I don't know who else. Like,
there's always January.
Yeah, I don't really know. I've said it a couple weeks in a row, but left wing's concerning. But all of this to be said, I am upset and disappointed with a draw at home for us to be in 4th and pretty much have a decent, start to the season. The silver lining is that the Spurs just really aren't that bad. They don't let in many goals. They've defensively been pretty sound. They win their first Champions League game at home. They go to Bodo Glimt tomorrow, and I'm expecting nothing but the same out there in Norway. We're just kind of blaming things that aren't a huge deal at the moment. We're from a team who finished 17th last year, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you kind of just move. I think you expect Paulinho's going to play every minute for every game going forward. And I've already fallen in love with the lone player. He's going to stay. I'm not so confident in it. He's not going back to Bayern. That's not happening. But Simmons is going to come in. I'm not worried about him either. He's such a talent, and you can see it. I think I texted Hen and Dobes that he's just overplaying a little bit at the moment. I think he's trying to show his worth when he can just take he can pump the brakes a little and be more of that interchange passing. You don't have to cut in every time and try and rip a Sonny-esque shot. That will come. It just doesn't have to be every time. So
sounds like Garnacho right there. cut inside and shoot.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter what's in front of you or where the goalie is or what the defense looks like. Just fucking shoot.
Rip it. But yeah, that was the late game. I would imagine everyone else was watching Ryder Cup and football at this point, including myself. But once we went down 1-0, I was like, I've got to watch the rest of this. I was really hoping for a comfortable 3-0 and we move on with our lives. But
can you imagine that same thought, but at 6:30 in the morning, wishing for a comfortable 3-0 and moving on with my life?
6:30 is so much worse than 2.
Ryder Cup was still on though, right?
On your lap. Yeah, it was horrible.
Better morning for the Spurs fans than the United fans, that's for sure. Villa takes out Fulham 3-1. Interesting situation over there at Villa. Are they good? Are they not? Can they score? Is Ollie Watkins washed? I don't know.
Speaking of
Their lineup is so
situation,
good.
any chance that any of you could tell me what the handball rule is?
Leads us smack into our next game,
Well, it's whatever Liverpool want.
which we don't know what a handball is. That comes in a lot here. The Arsenal side go to Newcastle and sneak away with a 2-1 win at Newcastle. Wolp made the second coming of Peter Crouch.
Large and in charge.
I love the guy, to be honest. I think he's hilarious.
I can't take him seriously when I watch him play, though, dude. Like, I can't.
No. No. And I think Russo said it. He's like, he looks like he's running in sand. I was like, he does. He absolutely does. Your knees don't work that well when you're that big. That's just science. But Winks, you guys controversially pull out a 2-1 win here. So give me your thoughts.
Yeah, controversially both ways, I might add. Agree to disagree. But I think this was a statement game. I think that Newcastle play the majority of teams really well, and going to St. James Park and suffering for a little bit and pulling out that kind of ending is huge for the mental. First of all, Nick Pope, unbelievable game. We should have put at least 6 in,
especially in the first half. Some of those Eze shots were just
100%.
disgusting.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna touch on next. So Eze played the 10 this game for most of it, at least. Unlocked a different side of him, I think. I think he still had his moments when he was playing on the left wing for us, but we all knew that he was the kind of player that could play left wing or in the 10 spot, and he naturally drifts to the middle anyways. So seeing him start in that position and do what he did, especially again in that first half against Newcastle away, was awesome. Going down sucked, and I'll just get this out of the way. It crushed our rhythm. No fucking clue why Gabriel decided to duck on that. I don't know that I've ever seen him be on the bitch side of a 50-50 ball.
You just haven't been watching ours?
Oh, yeah.
We have other players that do that. Gabriel is known for being physical and having that dog mentality. So I think, as you mentioned when you were talking about United, like, players make mistakes. It is what it is. But I hope that, that happening will show him, don't ever do that again. And I don't think he will ever do that again personally. But obviously he made up for it in true Gabriel fashion in extra time at the end of the game.
I think it's a fair take.
But after they scored, it was awesome to see the way, and I hate that it took them scoring for us to start doing this more often, but the way that we started playing balls over the top more and through balls, playing in the middle of the park in general after we went down 1-0 is something that I am still waiting to see when we're up or when the game's still level at the beginning of the game, because I think we talk about it a lot. Arsenal play through the wings all the time. And maybe that as a unlock in the middle is what, allowed us to play a little more creatively in that way. But I hate when we start games and we immediately push the ball wide and try and go up and get crosses in. Like, it works in certain situations, and, we're good at it. We draw a lot of corners, obviously, and that's, one of our bread and butters. But
sure do. Good Lord.
But
Arsenal corners,
at times it feels very like one-dimensional in the way that, like, it feels like that's all we have.
And you have more ability on your team 100%. To play otherwise. So that's why it's
we have so much talent. We have
like,
so much talent in our midfield and wingers that like to cut in or drift to the middle of the park. Like, it's not something that we can't do, but I hate waiting to see it until we go down 1. Yeah. So the Gyökeres pen. I watched that replay back several times and could not see where Pope got his foot on the ball before Gyökeres did. Should have been a pen.
Yeah, should have been a pen.
Flipping to the other side.
I think the only counterpoint on that one is that he was going down before the contact.
And that happened to King in the Fulham game. I don't know if
every single striker in the world
got fouled, but was going down before he got fouled, and they took it from him, which I think is crazy. But sorry, go on.
Well,
he got fouled.
I was looking online afterwards as well. Shut up. I was looking online afterwards as well, and VAR's reason for calling it back was because they said Pope got his foot on it before Gyökeres did. So it had nothing to do with, when he chose to go down. Every striker in the book, probably besides Erling Haaland, takes that dive either way and tries to draw the penalty. I'm not going to hear anything else about it. But on the flip side of things, I still don't know what the handball rule is either. The reason that VAR didn't give Newcastle that pen was because it hit Gabriel's shin before it hit his arm, which if that's the actual rule, then that's the rule, and we can't, you guys can't bitch about that not happening. Dumb.
I kind of thought
I just think there's no
the
rule.
old wives' tale,
rule.
like if you want to put it some ways, like that if your hand is in a position that's unorthodox and it helps you that it hits your hand, that's when you use like the ball skipping off a different part of your body. That's when it still punishes you. Those two things have to happen. It has to help your team, and it has to be in an unorthodox position, and that like supersedes the skipping up the leg.
I am not disagreeing with you in any fashion. I think that because both were called back, like it's a wash, it's fine. I feel how I feel about both pens, but I agree with you. I think that we've been on the shitty side of those kind of penalty calls not getting given for the same reason or very similar reasons, and so I think it's another week of just not knowing what a handball is, and that's frustrating on both sides of the ball. And
I also think that Gyökeres left his leg in there knowing he was going to draw contact. Is my which is smart by a striker, because his touch was nowhere near where he was going to go get that ball and score. Go back and watch his touch. Like, it is 10 feet to the left.
Right, like, I think that's why a lot of people thought, like, oh, Pope got his foot on that, and that's why it went that far wide. But I watched it back so many times, I was like,
this way, you're not stepping to the right. Like, you don't take a step to the right. So he took a step.
You guys should go watch the Josh King one.
He took a step into Nick Pope. Like, he takes a step into Nick Pope after he touches the ball this way. Which is like, well, I get that in my opinion, like the Pope touching it I'd never thought that he touched it. I always thought that Gyökeres knew what he was doing by drawing that contact, like which most good strikers do. Like
yeah, but there's also the play has to lead into the fact that there's maybe a world where he gets to it and that's where the contact is, and then it's a pen. But if the ball's not there and the play in succession doesn't look like it's actually leading to anything, then
could
you're
he not have gotten that ball?
Off.
It's tough, man, because it looks like he takes a big touch because I think he has to in order just to win the ball.
He doesn't look like the fastest lad either, to be fair.
No, he's not.
Which is weird because, and I know it's a different league, but he looked pacier when we watched him last year.
Totally.
In Europe, playing in Europe.
I want to see him and Woltmade in a foot race. That's what we need.
Woltmade runs circles around him. All right, sorry. Wings. Let me hear your preferred or strongest Arsenal 11 you can throw out there right now, because you guys got mad depth, and I'm curious to see what you think the actual best.
Yeah, so I forgot that we were doing that until right before the pod, so I didn't give it a
perfect organic right off the top.
And this is going to be the most Lucas Winkleman Arsenal take of all time, but I think
Lewis
Kepa net.
No influence.
If of anybody on this podcast, these two influence me the absolute least. But for me, it depends on who we play.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, see, I told you.
Gag me. Just fucking answer the question, bro.
You're playing, it's the strongest 11. It doesn't matter.
You're playing Barcelona tomorrow.
It does
in the
because our players
final.
have different
Give me your 11.
picks. Okay.
How many?
But you need a team. You need your best team, not like, because you're not going to get to pick your opponent. So like
100%.
Okay, so you're playing
Punch yourself in his stomach right now. Let your balls drop and put them on the table and give us your 11.
Shut up. You're
choosing your best team and you have to score goals.
Based on who...
You don't get to tie. You don't get to lose. You have to score goals.
You can't play park the bus football.
Based on...
You can only choose 2 center backs.
It's not haram. No haram ball.
No
haram ball. Based on who we signed in the summer and how that affects the way that we played, David Raya, Net, Gabriel, and Saliba. I'm assuming this is everybody fully healthy.
Yeah.
Timber on the right. This left back is where it's who we play, but Calafiori on the left. Again, this is no injuries taking into account. Otherwise, I think Calafiori is just an injury machine. Rice, Zubamendi, Eze on the left, Odegaard, Saka, and Gyökeres.
I hate that.
You still have faith in Odegaard, too.
I like Lewis Skelly a lot. Skelly a lot.
Lewis Skelly's so good.
He is so good.
I just think he provides so much more going forward than Calafiori does.
I don't fully agree with that.
Well, in terms of stepping in the midfield and being that, like, when you're trying to build,
Calafiori plays the 6 really well, bro.
If we're living onto this one Calafiori just like goal that he scored last season.
No, we're not even talking about him scoring. Getting up the field. I talked about it in like a podcast. I think it might have been the preseason or after the first week. Because we signed Zubamendi in the way that he plays versus like a Thomas Partey or a Jorginho, the way that he is able, the way that Zubamendi plays allows us to not necessarily need our wingback to step into that 6 role, which I do think he does very well. But I feel like having Zubamendi there unlocks Calafiori to play differently at left back, a way that we don't need necessarily an inverted left back like we traditionally have had in the past with Zinchenko, over the last 4 seasons. If Zubamendi's at the 6, I like Calafiori at the left. As far as that dog mentality, I think that Lewis Skelly has that, and he has sort of that ability that Gabriel does to like get under players' skins, and obviously he's gotten a few reds because of it, but like he plays hard, and I love that too. So that's
him only having 68 minutes this year is just crazy
for sure.
Me.
I'm not saying for sure.
I think that Calafiori playing in the 6 isn't exactly what I mean by starting offense. Even though I do think he can move up the field very well, like he's a very good athlete. Like he can actually like beat people one-on-one. He's good like that. But I think the meta right now of high-level footy is having center backs that can break the lines on like a high press team with like a super condensed block. When you can skip the other team's like first 4 or 5 attackers and break those lines from the middle of the park and make them all turn around and have to guess, and then your runners go. That's what I think the true value of pass like offensive work from your defenders is these days. And Calafiori is very good at that. He's very good at distributing from the middle of the park and breaking lines. So that's what I like about him personally.
You said.
And Lewis Skelly, I would personally play Calafiori over Gabriel and play Lewis Skelly left back. Or I'd play 3 center backs.
That's a hot take right there.
Why?
I genuinely feel like that Sean wanted to do the Arsenal 11 just so he could get that take. Just to drop that take off.
I feel obligated to shout out Kyle Lawbecker. He's a fan of the pod. We all know Lobs is a good guy. A huge Arsenal fan, knows what he's talking about. But he sent me an Arsenal 11 that really like piqued my interest. Although it was probably a week or like 3 or 4 days ago, and that's what made me want to do it. And his lineup was normal, the same defense, you had wings. But then he has one like pretty hot take. He basically said no wings, 2 holding mids, 2 attacking mids, trying to work through the middle, giving more space in the wings, and then 2 strikers. Saka plays off of Yoke up top, Eze, and Dowman, the young lad. In the attacking mid. And I know it's crazy. I know it's crazy. And I'm not. And when he said it to me originally, he takes Rice out of the equation here, and the Rice is like my favorite Arsenal player. And I was like, "You're nuts for this." But there is one like thing which I can speak on his behalf, and I don't even know if he was thinking about this, but it's not always your like best, like most skilled 11. It's what your like the chemistry of the team needs. And if you need someone who's actually willing to like run diagonally across the middle of the park and create and take chances more than you need someone who just happens to be a maybe more experienced, better player. They need someone to take chances. You guys kind of look hesitant in the attacking third, which you should not be because the team's way too good. It could be Wanyeri. It could be Saka up top as in I'm not saying it has to be him, but I do get dropping like maybe a slightly less skilled player to take like an attribute that you need to inject into your system. That part I get.
Yeah, I think you fix it all by really switching the manager, and I think it solves all the problems they have.
Yeah, this is my opinion
He's so
as well.
boring.
For me,
he's so lame.
For me, Sean, like with you putting that thought out there, I think that a way we can fix that is moving Eze into that 10 spot more often, or
sending
starting
Ode
him there
to Norway sending Ode back to Norway to
get better.
It has to be the coach, bro. It has to be. Those players are all so dynamic. Their link up is incredible. Their skill is they're just so good, and then they just look like they don't think it's allowed to go.
I've got a shout here,
please.
And arguing Arsenal's best 11's for sure my favorite thing that we've ever have done on this podcast.
Best segment.
But is Arteta pepping these guys? We've seen a lot of the same issues from Pep's wingers and players in his system. That are Grealish is the best example, who was your 1v1 attacker, you're running behind, he was so electric at Villa and he would do anything anywhere on the front third of the pitch. But we see a lot of this, I don't think he's ruined the career of Martinelli, he's ruined the career of Saka, things like that. But there's just that level of hesitancy that they have going forward that they've had for a long time, and it's all been under Arteta. Do you think that could come into play? Like Dauman, you want to be the 10 and the kid on the wing that's going to be running in behind and making, these creative chances that he doesn't have the experience to not do. He's just down to do them.
Bro.
Like you don't want him to get ruined.
That kid is, have you seen some of the stuff he's done since he's played the cup game, bro? I saw his edit and I was like, wait, this kid's way better than I thought. I thought the hype was a little too far.
To win things. Pep's system won things.
He won things with the 3 greatest teams of their generation.
I think he is, though, and I think the same can be said for a lot of wingers going to other teams into different systems. I think it's just a difference of systems where they're coming from and what their new managers are asking them to do because of their own visions. We know Chelsea's where wingers go to die because of their lack of identity and system in that way. But no, I mean, I would agree. I think that we've all had players in our clubs that, we've been excited about, then managers force them to play a specific way.
Yeah.
And it ends up not being good. So
I understand the debate, but I also don't think that he's quite pepping them because most of the guys that we're talking about are like guys that have come through the academy or really, really young.
They've been there a long time
at Arsenal.
Yeah.
So it's like Pep does his thing with new players and then he kind of like destroys them. Whereas like Martinelli, not saying that he's like done. I mean, he's popped off the last couple of games, but he came onto the scene through Arteta. He's been under Arteta the whole time. He's going through his normal like ebbs and flows. Arteta just wants his guys to play a boring way. So it's like, it just is what it is. Like, I mean, you can still see flashes of like brilliance from all of them, but like,
I will say, and I know that I wasn't on, but like, and he wouldn't be in the best 11 because Saka plays there. But like before he got injured against
Madueke has been phenomenal.
He was
because he's willing to take him on.
He was really, really. That's why the fucking Fat Mob. I looked at his Fat Mob. He was at 6.0 before he got subbed off. He was the most dangerous player in Arsenal by like a long shot that entire first half.
Makes everyone else's job easier if they have to actually like worry about someone taking them on. More space.
I don't know. I think the Arsenal think it's more of a mentality thing. It's getting over the hump, and can they do it or not? I don't know, because they have all the talent in the fucking world.
100%. That's why I think like getting that game out of the way away against Newcastle was huge. And looking back at our first run of games for the season, I know we talked about you guys having the hardest schedule, but
you guys were, I think it was like second or third.
Yeah, but we had to play you guys away, Liverpool, City, and Newcastle all across the first 5 games, and now 4 of our next 5, I think, are currently in the 10th spot or lower. So this is one of those runs that would be super Arsenal of us to drop points in a couple of these games, but we just flat out have to go out there and get the results that are expected in this next run of games. And I think because we play Burnley and West Ham, 2 relegation teams, Brighton, etc., like there are opportunities for us to put in a lot of goals. Not saying
Danny Welbeck homecoming
to United.
There's so much parity in the Premier League, man. It's like wins or wins at this point. Like
I love it.
Well, that wraps the Premier League section. Reviews, caps, couple other shout outs. We were talking about it before we hopped on, but the U20 World Cup is currently being played right now, and the United States line was -5.5 against New Caledonia. Any guesses on the halftime scoreline right now? I have passively been watching it.
I saw Twitter when it was 4.
Give me a 4-0.
7.
Let's go, boys.
7-0.
Let's go. That's why we bet the over.
I'm so mad that I did not take them at this point. I didn't know they had it like that. I would never bet on a USA team to do that.
A line of 5.5 for a soccer game is insane.
It's pretty
nuts, dude. The last piece that I do want to throw out, we've got to give a shout to our dog. Christian Pulisic is balling at Milan right now. Did we see his assist to Salamakers yesterday?
Oh yeah,
he's a beast, bro.
It's very Gareth Bale-esque. I don't know.
Finding the back guy.
That was the first thing that I thought of, that his just like heavy touch around the corner because he knew no one out was there and he was going to beat the guy on a flat sprint, no question.
I mean, that guy is literally an inch from getting that play.
The stat that I saw yesterday from US International only was since Pulisic made his Serie A debut, no player has been involved in more goals. He just passed Lautaro Martinez for the #1 spot. He has 46. Lautaro has 45.
So Landon Donovan wishes he could do that.
Joined the league in 23-24.
Here's a shout, and I saw it floating around. There's a couple things that have to happen for this shout to be real. But if he continues the form that he's in, top 25 Ballon d'Or next year?
Oh, yeah. Has to be.
I mean,
25?
Top 20? 15?
Most goal involvement since, that's got to get you at least top 25.
I mean, we just need him to keep doing this and stay healthy. We just need him to stay healthy.
Everyone knock on some.
Yeah. Next summer's the big one. Yeah, Milan's got to they've got to win the Scudetto, and he's got to be like the leader of that team by a lot for him to get legitimate shots.
I always just have to bring it up. It's like, wasn't good enough for Chelsea.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, the Chelsea discourse on Twitter
wasn't good.
Dude, they're watching this guy ball at Milan right now, and I'm seeing multiple tweets that were like, genuinely, have we signed a better winger than him since we let him go? Like, I think that's a legitimate shout. I don't know if they have.
I mean, what? Medwecki, Neto,
Garnacho,
Gittins.
Mudryk.
Did you guys see he's gonna join the Ukrainian track and field team as a sprinter or something?
For the Olympics.
Yeah, Mudryk.
Yeah. He's still under contract at Chelsea.
He will be. He'll still have another 2 years after that.
Till 2075.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Insane.
Well, gents, excellent podcast. Great analysis from the lads today. Shauno, well done, as always. The guy knows ball.
It's an honor.
Absolute top ball knower, top ball watcher. Always great having you on. And, yeah, lads, excellent time this week. Well done.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, boys.